Many of you know that I never really liked being a real estate agent. But as I've gotten older, I've realized that the reason I didn't like it and the reason I wasn't good at it was because I wasn't getting the proper mentorship. My brokerage wasn't teaching me the things that were essential to growing wealth. And even though that sucked for me 12 years ago, the reality is not much has changed in the real estate brokerage space. And I've actually been on a mission to correct that problem for realtors. And recently I was on a podcast with my buddy Steve Trang, who has had a very successful career as a real estate agent. We talked about all of these issues and how they can be solved. And so whether you're a realtor or not, I think this clip is going to help you out tremendously if you're in the real estate industry.
Around that time, I started to hear about this new company called Real, which very similar model in that, you can go nationwide, you can create a downline and revenue share and all that. And the more I looked at them, I was like, man, this is really cool. Like, they're newer. I think they have like 4,000 agents. There's a lot more opportunity for growth. The fees are cheaper, like everything about it. And I was like, you know what? And I talked to the CEO and all that stuff. And I said, let's just convert our brokerage over there.
Yeah.
We're going to lose some people who aren't happy about it, and that's fine. But in the long haul, it's going to give us the ability to expand a lot. And so my partner, Nick, and I made that choice to transfer all of the agents under Nick's name. And, I'm happy we did it. But one thing, to your point, that we did in conjunction with that was I started a new company called Wealthy Agent, because I had been seeing the same things you were seeing of like, man, realtor education is kind of, I don't want to say outdated, but the same stuff.
Yeah. It hasn't really been revolutionized.
Yeah. I mean, like, you can pretty much contribute the majority of realtor education to someone with the last name Ferry. And they both teach the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Like it's cold call, it's role play, it's expireds and door knock and like whatever. And it's great, like it does work. But the more I looked at realtor education, the more I was like, man, this stuff doesn't like make you wealthy. Like, this stuff makes you money, but if you were to ask me what I taught our realtors at Forever Home Realty, it was very different. I was saying, hey, it ain't about just making more commissions. Like, that's great, but how about we buy some rental properties?
Mm-hmm.
How about some of these listing appointments you're going on? You actually try to buy the house. Like, that will make you way more money than shooting for a 1%, 2% listing.
Yeah.
Why don't we talk about building your personal brand and using social media the right way to go get leads and build a brand and get organic traffic? Why don't we talk about taxes and how you can just be a real estate professional and pay no taxes, just doing these right things in conjunction with each other? And yes, let's focus on being a realtor too, and, learn those marketing techniques, get better at sales and negotiations. And we're going to talk about that as well, but let's cover these things that actually make you the wealth.
Right. And so when you reach out to me to talk about your vision,
Yeah.
right, I was looking at, those are all the same exact things I was trying to do at Stunning Homes Realty, right? We had over 100 agents, and we don't talk about like how to help people buy and sell houses to financial freedom, right? We talk about, hey, like, that is important for active income.
Yep.
But what are you doing to create wealth for you and your family so that, like, I gave everyone in our office full permission. If you ever saw me at a continuing education class at the age of 60, shoot me. Right? That we clearly missed the mark if that's the case.
Yeah. Well, and it's just like, here, and this is the truth, and this is the same as Real and EXP and every other brokerage in the world. They don't get paid when you buy a rental property, right?
Nope.
When you wholesale a deal or you flip a deal, they don't make money. In fact, it's more liability for them. So you'll never see brokerages promoting you to do that stuff. Okay. With taxes, most of them have no clue, right? I own a tax company. I understand it. Like, I get why brokerages don't know, because it's not in their best interest to teach their client. Like, it doesn't make them any more money when you save money on taxes. Like, it's
or
not.
if you are successful outside of buying and selling homes,
Yeah.
then you're no longer feeding them.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, 100%, right? Like, as you start doing things differently. Same thing with social media, all right? Like Gary Keller, okay, you used him as an example. I mean, the dude's obviously done very well for himself.
Yeah.
He didn't use social media to get to where he's at, right? I get more views than Gary Keller.
He is, though, the best example I've seen of like information marketing where like, let me give you a book,
Yeah.
right? And then you will buy my product.
Yeah.
He's probably the best ever.
He's an old school marketer, right?
Yeah.
Like that stuff works. That's direct marketing. It's fantastic. I've learned a lot from him. So I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
What I am saying is the way he got rich was in a different era than the way a new realtor is going to get rich.
Absolutely.
And so you want to learn from Gary Keller, who got rich a way that's not relevant today compared to how you can fast track it. I don't know, dude. I'd rather go learn from the people who are doing it the way that you're going to end up having to do it. And so I just looked at all this stuff and I was like, yep, I mean, brokerages are not going to teach social media because they don't know how.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, they're not qualified. It's like if we talk about building companies offline right now here, but like we have great companies, not because you and I are great videographers or great programmers or web designers or anything like that.
Right.
Right. We have it because our people are awesome. So would you rather have your broker who doesn't know how to post on Instagram teach you?
Yeah, and so like the reason I'm not even like, I guess I'm hating, but like the reason I'm saying all this is because if you've been a realtor this whole time at a big name brokerage or wherever, even a small boutique brokerage, and they haven't taught you this stuff, and you obviously know it's important, you're watching the show, then you obviously have a different mindset than most realtors.
Yep.
But you're like, man, why am I not getting traction? Well, it's because you're not learning the right things. And so, to long story short, like I said with Tykes and all my other businesses, when I see a problem with no apparent solution, I'm like, well, I guess I'll create the solution. And so I created Wealthy Agent. I really like the wealthy, like branding.
I don't think it's going to pull negatively in any survey, so I think you're good.
Yeah, I really like it. So, you know, I created Wealthy Agent, which teaches all of those things.
Right.
And yeah, you know, we're teaching, like we have 3 Zoom calls a week. I have literally pulled all the best coaches from across the country to train on different things. And so like Steve is a part of Wealthy Agent as a coach, as a student himself, as everything. And he is training all of the students in Wealthy Agent on sales, right? I just did a training literally 2 days ago. No, actually, might have been yesterday. I did one yesterday. And it's ironic we're talking about Gary Keller. I was actually praising Gary Keller because I was talking about his book, The One Thing, to them. And I was telling them, you know, really about how you can focus in on one thing on their business and really getting deep down into the marketing. But, you know, my previous call with them, I talked about personal brand and how to build that up in their market. But, you know, we've got guys like us. We've got, you know, my partner with the CPA side. We've got people talking about flipping and wholesaling. We've got people talking about how to build a team for your realtors. We got people talking about best practices with cold calling, best practices with, you know, door-to-door sales, like everything.
KPIs,
VAs, like you name it. You know, we've got 3 calls a week from different people, you know, every single week. So like the perspectives you get, nobody has it. Like it just doesn't exist.